We will take following questions in this video, but before that, do check out the first part if you have missed it. Let's start. This question is from the previous video. Here the given scenario is that suppose the host server has 2 GB space and your image size is 500 MB, then is it possible to run more than 4 containers from this image on the host? So the answer to this question is yes, we can do it because you can create multiple containers from the same image. As the image is made up of read-only layers, so none of the container can modify it, but each container has got a writable layer where container specific changes can be stored. Now moving to next question. Docker is written in which language and how to check the Docker version? This is very basic question, but sometimes this can also be asked. So Docker is written in Golang. Now let me take you to command line to check the Docker version. So the command to check Docker version is docker-v. My current Docker version is 19.03.11. Next question is, what are the different ways to create Docker images? So there are two ways to create Docker image. First one is manually from a running Docker container. If you are a beginner, then you should learn creating Docker image from this approach first. Now the second approach is automatically by writing some instructions in a Docker file. In the second approach, you have to write instructions in a file, and based on the instructions, your Docker image will be created. So now after knowing different ways to create Docker image, our next question is how to search and pull any Docker image in your local system. Here also we have two ways to do this. First way is you can go to Docker registry at hub.docker.com and you can search for the image. Second way is for those who like Linux command line. So you can go to your Linux command line and you can write the command docker search and the image name. Let's do it in practical. So we are here at hub.docker.com and let's say I want to install Java Docker image. Here I will search for Java and you can say multiple Java images are available. So I'll go with the first one. As you can see, this is the official Docker image for Java. And how I can pull it? You simply need to write docker pull openjdk. Now let's do the same thing from command line. So I'll write docker search Java. You can see multiple options are available here, different images are there. Now let me pull the openjdk image. So first let me clear it. So if you are not giving any tag, then by default Docker will take the latest image, and you can see here multiple layers are there and Docker is trying to install all the layers. So now the image is downloaded. Let's list this image. Docker images. Yeah, so the new image is downloaded, you can see. So there are a few informations about this image, like from which repository it is, what is the tag, image ID, when it was created, and what is the size. Now moving on to the next question. So next question is how to check details about any image. So for this you can use a command called docker inspect and image name or image ID you can give. And prerequisite for this command is that your image should be installed in your system to inspect it. Now let's inspect a Docker image which we have just installed. Docker inspect openjdk. Here lot of information is available about this image. Let's try to understand few of them. Let's go to the beginning first. This is the show value of this Docker image, and this is the repository information. OpenJDK latest is the tag, and create time is also mentioned here, and other configurations are also mentioned here, like the environment variables. And here command keyword is used. Entry point has null value, volume has null value, and here is the list of labels of this image, like who's the author, description, source, title, URL, vendor. So vendor is Oracle. So like this you can use Docker inspect to get full information about any image. Next is a scenario based question. So let's suppose I want to pull a Alpine Git image and a Alpine image is already installed. Then will Docker download a full or partial Alpine Git image? Answer to this question is Docker will not download any already available layer of Alpine Git. Don't go by my words, let's see in practical as well. So here is my terminal. First I will look for the installed image. So Alpine image is already available. Let's pull the Alpine Git image. So docker pull Alpine Git. It will take some time. As you can see, it says this layer already exists. Because our Alpine image was already available, so it did not download that layer, but it downloaded the other two layers. Our next question is how to check details about each layer in a Docker image, like its size, task done, and timestamp. We have used Docker inspect to get details about Docker image, but that command cannot be used to get information about each layer. There is a command to get the required details about each layer, and that command is docker history. Let's see how it works. I am on my command line terminal. Let's first list the available images. Docker images. Let's find the layer details of the first image, that is Alpine Git. So the command is docker history Alpine Git. So this is how you can get details about the each layer, like when it was created, like this was created 4 days ago, and what was the task done. So these are the kind of tasks which are done and what is the size. But for some layers the full commands are not visible. You can see the 3 dots at the end. So let's see how to get the full commands. So again the command will be docker history Alpine Git, and at the end you need to pass --no trunk. Now you can see the full command used in this layer. Earlier it was still open SSH, but using --no trunk you will get the full command. Similar is the case with this layer as well. Our next question is how to remove dangling images and why is it useful. Let's first understand what is dangling image. Dangling images are those unused images which are not associated with any of the container, and frequent cleanup of this kind of images is very important to keep your disk space free. Now the command to remove the dangling images is docker image prune. Let's use this command in practical. First let's list the available images. There are 6 images available in the system. Now let's clean up the dangling images. Docker image prune, and I'll say -a as well, so it will remove unused images as well. This command will give you one warning and ask for the confirmation, so I will say yes. So it has removed all the unused images and reclaimed 1.6 GB of space. Let's list the available images again. Docker images. So now only 2 images are available. Earlier there were 6 images, and these 2 images are not deleted because these are in use. Let's confirm that as well. So docker ps-a. Yeah, so you can see here 2 containers are running with CentOS and Alpine image, which are these images. That's why these images are not deleted. Moving on to next question, how to run a container in an interactive and daemon mode. So for this you need to pass some extra argument when you are starting your container. Let's see the docker run command for this. It should be docker run -itd -name and whatever name you want to give, and then the image name. Here -it is for interactive mode and -d is for running container in a detached or daemon mode. Now let's run a container using this command. I already have a Alpine image installed, so I'll be using that image to start a container. Docker run -itd -name, let's say test1, and image name is Alpine. Okay, so my container is created. Let's see the status now. Docker ps. Yeah, so you can see this container is created just 8 seconds ago from the Alpine image. Let's move on to next question. How to check details about a container. This is same as how we check details for an image, and the command will be docker inspect, then your container name or its ID. Let's see it in practical. So we have just started a container using Alpine image. Let's inspect it to get the details. Docker inspect container ID. This command will give you a detailed output. Let's go to the top. Here you can see the creation time, then the status, the current status is running, some path details, container name, platform. Here you can see this container is created from Alpine image. These are the environment variables, and this container is using bridge network, and this is the IP address of this container. So like this you can get so much information from here. Moving on to next question. Is it possible to create containers writable layer without running a Docker container? So answer to this question is yes, we can do it using docker create command. Let's demonstrate it. First I will check how many containers are there. So right now there is no container running. Now let's create a new container. Docker create -it -name test1. I'll use Alpine image here. Let's list the containers again. Docker ps-e. So now you can see from Alpine image new container is created 6 seconds ago, but it is not running. Now the next question is how to find size of any containers writable layer. For this we need to pass an extra argument while listing the containers, and the command is docker ps-as. Let's demonstrate it. This is my normal command to list the containers, but here you won't find the container size. To get the container size, you need to pass an extra argument -size. So if you use an argument -size, an extra field will be displayed. Here you can see containers writable layer size is 0 byte and the virtual size is 5.5 MB. This 5.57 MB virtual size is nothing but your Alpine image size. Let's validate it. Docker images. Here you can see your Alpine image size is 5.57 MB. Now let's do a practical where we will write some content in this container and see if its writable layer size will increase or not. So first I will start this container and I will go inside this container. Docker start. Now this container is started. Now I will go inside this container. Docker attach. Now I'm inside the container. Let's do ls. These folders are there in the current directory. Now I will use dd command to create a 100 MB dummy file here. This command will create a 100 MB file with the name test file. Let's do ls again. Yeah, so this file is created. Let's verify its size. Yes, so the size is 100 MB. Now I will come out of this container. Now let's run the docker container size command again. So earlier writable layer size was 0 byte. Now after creating this 100 MB file, the size is 105 MB. Now we can conclude that whatever changes we do inside a container, those are written in writable layer. Now the last question of this video is how to check logs of a container. Command to check logs is docker log, then you can give container name or container ID. Let's demonstrate it. As we had done a lot of changes in our test container, so let's see the logs from that container only. Docker logs test1. As a part of our previous question, we have performed all these tasks in our Docker container, and these actions are saved as container logs. Now how we can see the live stream of the logs from a container? So for that you have to use docker logs -f and then container name. Let me access the container from a new window. I will go inside my container in the second window. Docker attach test1. So whatever action I am taking inside my container, I can see it as a log from outside. Now let me run some other command. Let's run df-h. So this is how using logs-f you can get live stream of logs of any container. That's it for this video guys. If you like the content, then do hit the like button and subscribe to my channel. Thank you.